But that's important though, because if somebody's look at the only way you're gonna know for sure is if you research. You can't be in your feelings. If we say the letter J is an invention, instead of believing what you want to believe, look it up.
Yeah, because there's powers. There's different powers, you know, that you don't know about. There's spiritual powers you don't know about, even just by speaking. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they show you in movies that speaking, it really means something.
Or what about that movie you put me onto with the guy that was cursing Denzel Washington?
Fallen.
Yeah, and he was using a language that Denzel couldn't understand, and he was putting curses on him, but Denzel was immune to those curses because he was with the Lord, you know. Even though he got fucked up at the end, but still, that is important.
Yeah, because they show you like even on Harry Potter. Harry Potter, you have to speak certain words to put a spell on.
So now let's get critical. So when Yahushua said we have power in the tongue, what if what if the tongue meant language? Okay, so we have power in the language.
So the tongue cannot just have power.
Yeah, you gotta speak those words in that language.
If you didn't have a tongue, you wouldn't be able to speak, right?
You wouldn't speak properly, and you couldn't pronunciate the correct words. Have you ever tried? Have you ever tried learning a new language and saying the words like if you don't sound right because you don't have someone explaining it to you, or
Right.
so when you grow up in a household, your mom and dad teach you that language.
Because somebody was walking down the street and you called him by a different name that he didn't know,
You can look
he wouldn't look, right? That's the same thing with how Yahushua wants it. He wants you to call his real name.
because there's power in that name.
Yahushua wasn't even on earth when that name was out. So,
That's crazy. Hey, she's playing that Jesus music. Save me, save me. You people are, well, it's understandable. But, there's power in the tongue. Because, like you said, on the what's it called, the Harry Potter movie, that wand doesn't work unless you speak the words.
it has to be it's a sorcerer,
Mm-hmm.
a wizard.
And what happens when you go to a Christian or Catholic church? That wizard is up there speaking those words that you love to hear.
They even have classes. They have to go to school. They have to go to school for that to learn how to be a fucking witch. Right?
But not this. You don't. I mean, you do have to watch the videos to learn.
Is that the true image of the Son of God?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he is black.
You're gonna be blessed.
I put it in San Antonio and I went actually all the black people up and she had fist, the black fist with the power, and I said something to her about it. She's like, tell everybody. You need to go tell everybody.
Yeah. It's time for everybody to know because these problems are gonna get intensified.
Yeah, what do you mean exactly?
Well, let's say because Trump won office, right? But right now it's a bad situation in the Middle East. But he said he's gonna want to bomb Iran's nuclear facilities. So what do you think those motherfuckers are gonna do? They're gonna send all their people through the border, like they're doing right now, and we're either gonna have to fight for our lives or watch people that we love die. And I don't know about you, but I'm not gonna let my people die. So it's gonna get intensified, but your belief will save you. Yeah. And then your heart will be tested, unfortunately. Like, we've been tested so much, we go through so much tribulation, but that's just a part of it.
This girl, she's about to leave. 45. And we heard it. instead of DNA stuff.
Mm-hmm. The shroud.
Blood of Ethiopia, India, and there was a couple other places I can't remember in Nigeria. Their blood was closer to the blood of Moses' priests than the actual blood of the Jews that are in Jerusalem today.
Oh man, you gotta come back. You gotta come back.
Russia, that when Constantine wiped out all the Jews, he wiped out 87% of them, right?
Yeah.
And so what happened is what came into Israel later was Russian refugees. And that's literally what they found in their blood and their DNA, that they're more related to Russians than
anybody else, yeah.
So it's funny, like all the melanated people are closely related to the blood of Moses than any Jews that are alive today. And in Revelations it says that the synagogue of Satan rule the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And so
makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Nothing that is
yeah.
That's uncovered will stay.
All right, we'll come back, bro. If we're still here. So you see that was important, and I don't know if you noticed my reaction, but I got scared, and I turned real fast. But you know, that's exciting when people say, "Is that the real image of Yahweh Shai?" And it kind of tests you, right? What are you gonna say? And you say, "Of course," and then they say they reciprocate. Yeah, that's the real image, and then they'll give you their story, and their story is awesome and amazing.
You don't know if they're gonna believe.
Yeah. It's like meeting a new girl. Like you're like, oh, you're all nervous and shit. But if you're cool, you won't be. But if a girl makes you nervous like that, it's just because you're not prepared for it. And that's how you're gonna be when you see Yahweh Shai. You're not gonna be ready for that. You're not even ready for his voice. His words, you're not ready for.
You want to read Romans 6:6?
Man, I love Romans. Let me get Romans 6:6. Knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him, that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should not serve sin.
This guy that we just seen, he's putting off the old man because he's learning about the truth.
You see how this is Yahweh Shai's camp. He's making those things happen.
And an old man, it says, definition, added notion of weakness.
Let me get it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get old first. Old, ancient. So it's palaios. Old, ancient, no longer new, worn by use, the worse for wear, old. So that's bad because let's say you got a new car and you need a transmission. Are you going to get a transmission with 100,000 miles just because it runs good still? Or are you going to try to get a newer transmission? You're going to get a newer transmission because you want the new one.
That's because you don't want something that's worn out.
Fuck no.
You want something new.
It's like if you marry a wife and she's worn out, her vagina's worn. You can't touch a wall to save your life. You're gonna be devastated. You're not gonna have any faith in her. You're gonna be like, God damn, I got the worst of the worst. But I got a scripture for you. Matthew 9:16. No man putteth a piece of new cloth unto an old garment, for that which is put in to fill it taketh from the garment, and the rent is made worse.
See? So once we come into this truth, we can't go back into the world. You know, we can't agree with
anything.
We can't agree with, even if our relatives, want to celebrate.
You become volatile.
Still have to tell them,
You become like agitated, man. Well, what happens is in your mind, if you have rest in your mind, your body stays still. But if your mind's constantly going, you're like tapping your foot. And that's where the men of the Lord are, because we see these signs and